My stepbrother cheated with my wife. She demanded a divorce and 50% of the house, mocking me. What she didn't know? My dad had put it in a trust. She walked out with nothing. Hello Reddit I plus here. I'm 38 million, and I'm a residential architect based in Tucson, Arizona. I've always been the calm, logical type, the guy people call to help fix a crisis, not the one in it. But life has a sick sense of irony, because the last year turned into a nightmare I never saw coming. It was like watching a slow-motion car crash where the passengers are your wife and your stepbrother, and the crash is happening in your own damn house. Let me start at the beginning. I met Lena at a mutual friend's barbecue. She was 29 at the time, artsy, vibrant, always sketching something or talking about colors. She freelanced as a portrait artist, and I worked at a mid-sized firm designing suburban dream homes for newlyweds and retirees. Funny, right? Our relationship started fast. It was 3 years of quirky dates, spontaneous road trips, and the usual "I think she's the one" feelings. We got married in a small backyard ceremony, just us, family, and a taco truck. I thought I'd scored the jackpot. Around a year into the marriage, Lena told me she wanted to find her true passion. That meant dropping freelance art. I wasn't worried. I made enough to cover us. She promised she'd get back to work once she figured things out. I believed her. God, I was stupid. Fast forward a couple more years. Things start shifting. Lena starts going on long walks, hitting the gym more, suddenly obsessed with fitness and mental clarity. She said she needed space to find herself. I supported it. I even got her new running shoes and a smartwatch. That's when he showed up. My stepbrother Riley. Riley was always the golden retriever of the family. Charming, athletic, broke as hell. Personal trainer, zero business sense, always couch surfing at someone else's place. Somehow he and Lena clicked. She said he was helping her with her form, her routine, her mindset. I thought, cool, maybe he's finally being useful. I had no idea I was financing their affair. Then came the receipt. It was a Sunday morning. She'd come back late Saturday, claiming she was out with friends. I was picking up her coat from the floor when a crumpled hotel receipt slipped out. One of those boutique places downtown with rose petals on the damn bed. I checked the date. Same night she told me she was at Marissa's girls' night. I didn't confront her yet. I went into full Sherlock Holmes mode. Quiet, focused, watching. She never left her phone unattended anymore. Not even to shower. Suspicious, right? Then one day, she messed up. The phone buzzed on the nightstand while she was in the shower. One preview message lit up the screen. Can't wait to feel you again. Tonight's going to be wild, Riley. I felt like my lungs stopped working. She came out of the shower, wrapped in a towel, humming some song, and I just snapped. I showed her the message and asked her point blank, "You and Riley?" She froze for half a second, then laughed. "Oh my God, you're being so dramatic. He's your brother." I brought up the hotel receipt, her late nights, her distance. That's when the mask dropped. She looked me dead in the eye and said, "Fine, yes, Riley and I are together. He gets me in ways you never could." Then she said the words that made my blood go cold. "I want a divorce, and I want my half. The house, the savings, the car. I earned it." "You earned it?" Now here's where things take a beautiful turn. See, 3 years before this betrayal, my dad, who's the kind of man who preps for earthquakes in Arizona, pulled me aside and said, "Son, don't ever put property in your name until you've been married at least 10 years. Just trust me." So, when we bought the house, the deed went under a family trust, his name. I still paid the mortgage, the taxes, the renovations, but legally, I didn't own a damn thing. She thought she was about to walk off with half my life. What she didn't know? She wasn't entitled to a single brick. That night I didn't sleep. I stared at the ceiling wondering how I'd missed this. My wife, my stepbrother, the two people I would have fought for. The next morning I called my dad, told him everything. He didn't even flinch. "I warned you, didn't I?" he said. "People are loyal until there's something to take." Then he said the one thing that stuck with me. "Don't fight angry, fight smart." I got a lawyer the next day. A family friend, someone who's worked with us for decades. I gave him the trust paperwork, the bank records, even the text screenshots. He smiled and said, "This is going to be fun." Meanwhile, Lena was strutting around the house like she already owned it. She even told me, "You better start packing. You won't win in court." I said nothing. Then came the mediation meeting. Her lawyer opened with the usual crap. Community property, contributions, emotional damages, blah blah. My lawyer slid the deed across the table and said, "Actually, the property is held in a private trust. My client holds no title. This is a courtesy meeting, not a negotiation." Her lawyer blinked, looked at her. She went pale. "Wait, what?" she hissed. "That's not possible." I finally spoke. "You were sleeping with my stepbrother in a house that was never legally yours. But thanks for showing your true colors." The divorce went through without her getting a cent. She tried to fight it, claimed emotional trauma, tried dragging my dad into it, but the court tossed it all. Turns out, Screwing your husband's brother and demanding assets you don't legally own doesn't go over well. Riley, last I heard he moved to Vegas, tried launching some fitness app, probably crashing on another couch. Me, I've renovated the house. New floors, new paint, new life. Lena's ghost is gone. And every time someone asks why I'm still close with my dad, I say, because he saved me from giving my house and my heart to a damn parasite. So after the court shut her down and the divorce was finalized, I thought I'd finally have peace. I was wrong. 2 weeks after everything was settled, Lena showed up at my doorstep, makeup smudged, wearing the same oversized hoodie she used to steal from me, eyes puffy like she'd been crying for hours. I didn't open the door. I just stood behind the glass, arms folded. She knocked again. "Can we talk?" she said, her voice trembling. I cracked the door an inch. "About what?" I made a mistake," she whispered. "He's not who I thought he was." "Oh, now you realize Riley's a clown." Apparently after the divorce, she moved in with him. But surprise? Turns out the guy who can't hold down a gym job also can't pay rent. She ended up footing the bills with the little she had saved. He got bored once it wasn't secret and forbidden anymore. Classic Riley. 3 weeks into playing house, he ghosted her, blocked her number, told mutual friends she was clingy and broke. Karma's sense of timing, immaculate. She came crawling back, expecting sympathy, maybe even a second chance. She said, "You're the only one who ever really cared about me. No apology, no accountability. Just, I miss the comfort you gave me." I stared at her and said, "You miss stability, not me. You burned this house down and showed up asking for a blanket." I closed the door. That was the last time I saw her in person. But wait, there's more. A few months later, I got an email from an unfamiliar address. "Just thought you should know." Inside, screenshots. Apparently, Riley had sent pictures of Lena, explicit ones, to one of his other hookups. The girl found out about me and figured I deserved a heads up. Disgusted doesn't even cover it. Lena had been bragging to Riley that she'd bled me dry in the divorce and was already bouncing back. He sent her photos around like trophies. I forwarded everything to my lawyer, not to press charges, though I could have, but to make sure it was documented in case she ever tried to come for anything else. My lawyer just chuckled and said, "That woman stepped on a rake and keeps walking into another." I told him Lena tried to come crawling back. He just raised an eyebrow and said, "You didn't let her in, right?" "Of course not." "Good, because the second you feed a rat, it moves back into the walls." I finally started therapy. Yeah, I know. Not the spicy Reddit ending you were hoping for, but hear me out. It helped me rebuild. I stopped blaming myself for being blind. I stopped romanticizing who she used to be. I realized the woman I loved didn't disappear. She never existed. And in the middle of that healing, I met someone. Her name's Elise. She's not an artist. She's not flashy. She works in accounting and hates drama. On our third date, I told her the full story, thinking she'd run. Instead, she sipped her wine and said, "Well, sounds like you've got the most solid bullshit detector I've ever met. We've been together 8 months. I still have trust issues. I'd be lying if I said otherwise, but Elise is patient. She doesn't flinch when I get quiet or zone out. She just squeezes my hand and waits. If you're reading this and you feel something is off in your relationship, trust that instinct. If your partner suddenly becomes secretive, dismissive, or cold, you're not imagining it. And if you're betrayed, don't lash out. Don't scream. Don't beg. And if you've got a dad like mine, hug him. Because thanks to mine, I walked away with my sanity, my home, and a second shot at happiness. She walked away with her suitcase and a reputation in shreds. And Riley? Still jobless. Still a leech. I saw his Instagram last week. He's hawking energy drinks and calling himself a fitness mentor. No mention of Lena. Good luck with that, bro.